Hello, my friends. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 ways in which Kundalini Yoga is the crown of yoga, is considered the crown of yoga. So if you are a yogi practitioner, either for many years or just starting out, if you're on your own spiritual awakening journey, then this is the video for you. So let's get into it. Let's start with the 5 ways in which Kundalini Yoga is considered the crown of yoga. Number one is it is the royal synthesis of all the yogas. So there are many different types of yoga. The one that we're most familiar with in this country is Hatha yoga. And Hatha yoga is yoga that combines breath with movement, with a series of postures. So if you've been to any kind of yoga class, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The next kind of yoga is Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is a devotional yoga, and it is characterized by chanting, which is supposed to and does calm the mind, and also it moves energy. Once the energy gets up to the throat area, helps move the energy through the skull with the jaw movements and the vibrations of the syllables in the skull, which is fascinating. It's fascinating how it works. So it moves that energy up to the top of the head, which is the whole purpose of Kundalini energy and Kundalini Yoga, which we're going to get into even more. The next kind of yoga that it synthesizes into the mix is Raja Yoga. And Raja Yoga is meditation. It's a meditative type of yoga. It's a slow meditation and meditative movements. So that's Raja Yoga is another type of yoga that should be included in that. The next type of yoga is Jnana Yoga. And Jnana Yoga is yoga, any kind of yoga that causes you to look within for the wisdom that's inside of you and causes you to self-reflect. So what Kundalini Yoga does is it incorporates all of those types of yogas into one. You're not just getting one. And as a result, it's a fast track, more powerful type of yoga, which we're going to continue to talk about as we go through the points. So this yoga combines movement, breath, and focus of the mind in order to hit all of the levels of mind, body, and spirit, which is really important for spiritual growth in general. Okay, so the second reason why it's considered the crown of yoga, and that is that it awakens the Kundalini Shakti. So the whole premise of Kundalini Yoga is that the Kundalini energy is in the body at the base of the spine. It is considered typically a feminine type of energy. This Shakti is considered the feminine energy of God or the divine, or however you want to talk about it, right? And what it does is it begins to move that energy up the chakra system, the energy system in a person's body, with the objective being to have it hit the crown of the person. And when this happens, all different types of awakening begin to occur for that person. Now, the point is that Kundalini Yoga, the postures have this energy open move and open in a controlled way. So some people, unfortunately, have experiences where the energy is released in a way that is upsetting to them and can be traumatic for them because they're not prepared or ready for it happening. And if they're particularly young and haven't worked on their psychological issues or have physical issues because they haven't been taking care of their bodies, it can be a very painful experience for to have Kundalini activated before they're ready for it. But what Kundalini Yoga does is it activates that Kundalini in a controlled, safe way. And the whole objective is to move it from the base of the spine up to the top of your head, and to calm the mind, calm the body. Other yogas actually calm the mind and calm the body, but this yoga does more than that, more than calming the body and the mind. It activates your blueprint of your potential, because that energy is the most powerful kind of energy that we have. And once it's activated and moving through the system, what happens is, over time, you'll notice it over time, you will begin to become aware of what your true desires are, what you're good at, what you want to do in this lifetime. And you'll slowly but surely, you'll find that your path is being guided towards what it is that you came here to do. That will all of a sudden be revealed over time to the person who does the yoga and is diligent and disciplined with it. That I can tell you for honest to God, sure. Okay, so then the next thing, the third thing, is that it's the most direct and powerful path to awakening. Now, awakening is a really loaded word, especially these days. What we mean by awakening is when the mind begins to calm. You begin to become more aware of the spaces between thoughts. You begin to understand what you're supposed to be doing in life. You begin to understand why you're here and what your purpose is, and how you are uniquely guided to serve the world and serve other human beings in it. So it's the most powerful because of it, and it's a fast track for breakthroughs. And one of the things that I noticed, because I came into it completely blind, knowing nothing about Kundalini Yoga, just knowing that it healed the nervous system, is that I started to change very quickly after doing it. So luckily, I was considered prepared, even though I didn't know what that actually meant, prepared to do Kundalini Yoga. So because I had done yoga for probably 15 years prior to finding Kundalini Yoga and doing it, I also had done meditation, and I had done many years of psychotherapy. I was prepared to do the Kundalini Yoga. So for me, sitting down and doing it for the very first time, I experienced complete and utter bliss, because to move that energy there was no blockages there. And I became just like addicted, for lack of a better word, because it made such complete sense to my spirit, and everybody has their own interpretation of what that means, but it made such complete sense to me to continue doing this. It was more satisfying than any church service I had ever been in. It was more satisfying than anything that I had ever read. It put everything together, everything that I had learned together. And that's the only way I can explain it to you. So it is a very direct path to that state of enlightenment. So the next reason that it's considered the crown of yoga is that it opens the crown chakra itself. So the crown chakra is considered the top of the head. And when the energy moves up and hits the top of the head, the pineal gland, and creates that pressure, and the DMT, the dimethyltryptamine, begins to release, and that energy is optimized. There's nothing, you're straight, you're moving the energy up. You begin to experience just the euphoria of your true energy, your true essence, with nothing blocking it. All of the blocks that society has put in front of you, suddenly they fall away. So all of the crap that's in your food that you eat, suddenly it has, there's no, because you've stopped eating these things, all of these things start to fall away from you. So you no longer want to eat these things. You no longer are attracted to the things that once held the fascinations that you had before. So you're not really drawn to maybe drugs or alcohol or sex or all the distractions, being on your phone 24/7, because you begin to understand the euphoria of just being yourself, of just being a human on this planet, and the beauty and the wonder that that entails. So it becomes kind of a mind-blowing experience where the anxiety starts to fall away, the depression starts to fall away, particularly if the practice is done every single day as a discipline. Every single day you just watch yourself transform over time. So that opening of the crown chakra, it creates a kind of, ultimately, an experience of unity with the infinite, and also like an inner peace and bliss that doesn't last forever, but it lasts, it goes, it has its peak while you're doing it, and then afterwards you feel really great, and then you want to do it again the next day because you're calm in the face of all kinds of storms that life throws at you. And you begin to understand that calmness, and you begin to understand and welcome that you have it, that it's, you have your own refuge inside of yourself that you never had before, where you might have, like, I would look outside of myself and ask other people what they thought, and what should I do. I don't care what other people think and what they think I should do. I know now to look inside. Everything is inside. And you begin to realize that over time, that your connection to the divine, nothing can get in the way of it. Not a thing. No religion can take it away from you. No person can take it away from you. You will always be connected to the divine. Whether or not you want to pursue it is completely and utterly up to you. So now let's move to I think I'm up to 5. I think I'm up to the 5th. So it's, once you do this and the Kundalini Yoga is activated, your magnetic field, because all energy creates a field around it. So we all have an energetic field around us. And we're working on building that magnetic energy and that field as we're doing the yoga. And you can feel it begin to happen. So whether or not people believe in auras or energy, I mean, you have to believe in energy, it's scientific, but there's an aura or magnetic field, they're the same thing, around each person. And what we do is we supercharge that aura, that energetic field around us, through the practice. And that feeling, and that the feeling is amazing, but that aura attracts people to you and the things that you need into your life. I can't tell you how, I can't tell you why, I can just tell you that it happens. So when this happens, your aura, your energetic field, your calmness, it elevates the people around you, which is number 5, which is why this is considered the crown of yoga. It elevates the people around you. So the people around you then feel your energy, your resonance then can help other people's energy elevate. So it actually is a scientific concept where the vibration of one thing can affect the vibration of the things around it. So if I'm vibrating at a certain frequency and someone's vibrating at a lower frequency, then they can potentially have their frequency raised just by being in the presence. Or if someone else is vibrating at a higher frequency, my frequency can be brought up by theirs. So we can elevate the people around us, thereby shining our light out into the world and changing our vicinity for the better. So for those of you who feel powerless when you're watching the news about all the horrible things going on and you think, what can I do? What can one person do? You can have a spiritual practice that will enable you to, number one, keep yourself calm while all of this is going on. Keep yourself focused on your path, on what's good for you and what you need to live up to your potential in this lifetime. And at the same time, help the people around you. And that's our primary purpose here on this planet. Our primary purpose is to serve others through shining our light as brightly as possible. And I say that over and over again on this channel because it's a real thing. So that, my friend, is the 5 reasons why Kundalini Yoga is called the crown of yoga. Until next time, namaste, peace and love.